You can play all of your classics on this. This is a straight up unboxing video. I've never seen this thing before. Well, I've seen it. I've never played it. Oh, this is from Sweetwater, by the way, sponsor of today's video. Okay, this is for the case. This you could put on a case if you want to put it over your shoulder. All right, it took me a while to figure this out. This is how it opens. All right, let's do it this way. Look at this. Fingering chart. On the other side, I'm hoping it tells me how to put this thing together. Does it come with a reed? Oh, it's got a reed on there. Whoa. That works pretty good, actually. All right, I'm not looking at the instructions. I may regret this later. But I put together a few saxophones, and I'm just gonna guess. Look at that, that cute bell. Oh, it's like rubber. Anything else in there? Wait, there's other stuff in there. Extra reed. Nice of them. This one says 2. These 2 things look like extra keys, maybe? I've read no instructions. I know nothing about this thing. I'm going to guess where the fingers go. Okay, so that's all my notes for C major. Oh, I see. It's only meant to go up to high G. Okay, how do you get B flat? 1 3 1 for B flat. Okay, now we need F sharp. Okay, F sharp is a half hole. How does this work? Oh, I see. These are key plugs. All right, I gotta put the glasses on. When the reed needs to be changed, simply open the ligature as shown in the picture and carefully slide the reed up away from the mouthpiece. Remember not to touch the tip of the reed. All right, let's try to change this reed. I'm gonna lift this up. Oh, and it slides right out. So if I put it back in there, well, and it stops where it needs to stop. That's actually really cool. Like any kid can actually just change their reed pretty easily. And it just kind of gets centered automatically. That's pretty neat. Oh, interesting for tuning. Let's check the tuning of this. All right, I'm going to assume this is in concert key. F is a bit sharp. All right, let's pull out. The tuning is not fantastic. How do you play C sharp? Oh yeah, C sharp is that. That's not working. This is the fingering for C. Very sharp naturally, I have to lift that down. And this is the fingering for C sharp. They're the same note. Well, it's not really meant for playing all those sharp notes, I don't think. I think this instrument is meant to be played by kids, and it's meant to play stuff in the key of C where you don't have sharps or flats. The range goes from this low C up to G, an octave and a fifth higher. Pretty big range for like a kid's instrument. You could play a lot of songs with that sort of a range. That high G is pretty hard to get out on its own. I can get into it, I can slide into it, but I'm having trouble getting a high G out. I don't know how many kids would be able to get that out on their own. So the fingerings aren't quite exactly like a real saxophone. They're more similar to a recorder, I'd say. Small hands are not gonna have too much trouble playing this instrument. I was at my friend's house the other day and his 5-year-old daughter was playing one of these exact instruments and she was managing pretty well. Of course, it depends on the kid. What is nice about this though is it's gonna get kids used to playing an instrument with a reed. You can even use real saxophone reeds on here. Soprano saxophone or E-flat clarinet reeds work. I got this black and blue one, but it also comes in white. It's also entirely plastic. The bell here is rubber. It's not something they're gonna be able to dent. You could probably break it if you smashed it hard enough, but I would expect the build quality, from what I'm feeling, will stand up to most kids' use and slight abuse. What I think is cool about this is a young 5-6-year-old is gonna feel like they're playing a real instrument and not so much a toy. And you know, it will get them ready for when they can play the real thing. An instrument like this is only gonna last you a couple years though. And I'll put it to you this way, when your child is 8 or 9 and they start playing a real instrument, they kind of learn pretty fast usually. I only say that to keep your expectations in check. Just because your kid gets one of these doesn't mean they're gonna become Mozart. I like that it has this adjustable thumb hook. A parent can move that, but a kid probably will have a hard time moving it. I love the way the reed goes on and off. That is kind of genius. It's kind of, the mechanism is, it's got these rubber pads, so when it touches, it's soft. And you can hear it doesn't make very much noise at all. As a parent of a young kid, if I knew about this when my daughter was a bit younger, I definitely would have gotten one of these for her. And I'm sure she would have gotten some enjoyment out of it. Now, my daughter, who's 8, is playing the flute and taking lessons, and she's picking it up quite quickly. I would recommend this for 5, 6, 7-year-old kids. At that age, their hands are usually too small to even hold the saxophone. The saxophone is too heavy for them. Getting a good sound on the reed is too difficult. Even putting the reed on is quite difficult. This instrument is light enough that a young child can hold it. No need for a neck strap whatsoever. You can play all of your classics on this. How about? At that age, 5, 6, 7, the songs children would play are probably going to have 3 to 5 notes in them max. So you really don't need to worry about all of the sharps and flats for an instrument like this. A kid that's playing this, very unlikely that they're going to ever need those notes anyway. Also, the fact that it doesn't play perfectly in tune, it's not such a big deal. It's close enough, and again, you know, at that age, tuning is not something we're all that concerned with. This is a mouthpiece cap that kind of slides on over there. It's made out of this rubber or silicone, I guess. So this is a plug that goes on so the kids don't have to worry about covering that hole up. I was actually having trouble with that myself. And then there's another one for this key. You could just put these plugs on there. It's like training wheels for the kids. And there's one on the C as well. This one comes off. So that's how I would get C sharp. I would definitely recommend starting the kids out with all the plugs on the instrument. And you don't need to take off the plugs until they need to play sharps or flats, which, you know, honestly, by the time they're ready to play sharps and flats, they're probably also ready for a real flute or saxophone. Hey, I want to quickly thank the sponsor of this video, Sweetwater. They are the #1 retailer for musical instruments in the US, and they carry the full line of these Nuvo alternative starter instruments, as well as pretty much anything else you can think of. At sweetwater.com, I put links in the description below. Keep in mind that Sweetwater offers free and fast shipping, as well as financing for the more expensive stuff. They've got amazing customer service. If you have any questions, you could call them up and get an expert who plays your instrument on the phone, and they'll give you advice on whatever it is you're looking for. I absolutely love working with them, and that's why all the BetterSax gear is available exclusively through Sweetwater in the US. All right, so that's the Nuvo jSax 2.0. Watch this video next for another plastic saxophone-y thing